Today we are with Mr. Darrell Lane, and we're going to talk to him about the sighting that he had a few years ago. So, Mr. Lane, what state did this happen in?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. And what was the nearest city that you can recollect that the sighting was near?
Bean Station.
Bean Station, Tennessee. Was it on a highway? Was it out in the woods?
Yeah, Highway 25E.
Highway 25E. Okay, and I think that's in Hawkins County, Tennessee. If it's not, we'll go back and look and make a correction on it. And this sighting, did it happen during the day or at night?
It was at night.
It was at night, okay. And what was the environment like around it? What was the lighting? Was it a calm night? Was it a stormy night? What was it like?
Was a clear night. I don't remember if the moon was out or not, but it was just clear as it could be that night.
That night. And what year was this? Did it happen?
I'm guessing about 2007. I'm guessing probably 10 years ago.
Okay. And I'm going to let you take it away. I just wanted to get those few questions out of the way and kind of let you tell us what happened.
Well, I had left home that night. I'm a truck driver. And I had pulled out that night and been home all weekend. I was well rested. So there was no problem with sleep deprivation or nothing like that. And I had started on my trip. I was going up to Chicago that night. And I pulled out about, it was somewhere around 12 o'clock that night. 11, 12 o'clock. And I had only been gone about an hour from home when I got down there. And right outside Bean Station, you got to climb a mountain on 25E called Flint's Mountain.
Right.
And I started up the mountain, and I was loaded real heavy that night. And I wasn't doing, by the time I got about a quarter of the way up the mountain, I was down to about 5 miles an hour. And so I was just barely crawling. There was no traffic. That way at night, usually not too many traveling over there. And I saw something up in front of me, and I couldn't really tell what it was at first. And the closer I stayed there, so I kept crawling. I was getting closer and closer to it. And I finally realized, and I said, well, it's a man standing in the road. And the closer I got to it, the funnier it looked, but it was still a man. I thought it was a man standing in the road. And by the time I got within a couple hundred feet of it, I noticed that he was nude. I thought he was nude. And I said, oh my goodness, you know, I see all kinds of stuff as a truck driver. So I said, you know, some weirdo out here on the road. And so I kept getting closer and closer. I was in the left lane, and if you know that mountain or that road, it's a 4-lane road right there. And the only thing that divides the 4 lanes is a concrete barrier about 1 foot wide.
Right.
There's no medium there, it's just that concrete barrier. And when I got closer to it, I noticed he was I was going up the mountain, he was on the side coming down the mountain, just across the concrete barrier, within a couple feet of that concrete barrier. And as I got closer to it, I crossed lanes because my headlights would shine better on whatever it was. And I crossed from my right lane, crawling up the mountain. There was no traffic, so I went over into the left lane just to get a better shot of what I was looking at. And within 100 feet, he's standing there still yet. And he's in a position, it's kind of like a starter's position, I would call it. He was like he's ready to run, you know, posed and ready to run. But he was looking right at me, his face turned toward me. But he never did move. And I'm just getting closer and closer to him. And within 50 feet of it, I was really making out details. You know, I'm looking at whatever it is standing there. Like I said, I thought it was a man at first, and then I just kept looking, and he had, okay, I would describe it as an 80, 90-year-old man's face, because it was all drawn, wrinkled, you know, an ugly face. But when you look at the face, you think, well, an old man. But then when you look at the body, it's not an old man. I mean, this thing was just as muscled as it could possibly be. And there's no old man, I don't care how much working out you do. I've been around a long time, I see a lot of old men, and there ain't no workout gonna make you look like this.
Right.
So, I mean, he was just built, I mean, the muscle was just everywhere, just solid muscle. He did have hair on him, but it was white, and it was sparse. I mean, very little hair. But what was on him was white.
Huh.
And, you know, it was real thin, really thin is what I would say. He had quite a bit of hair on it as I got closer to him, but it was just real thin and white. And, you know, take it for what you want. I have no idea what I saw.
So how tall was it? Yes.
I estimate he had to be at least 7 feet.
At least 7
I'm
feet.
sitting up in the truck, and he's
over there.
he's over my window.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking down on him, but very slightly looking down on him.
And so when you got closer and closer, I'm assuming it ran off.
Oh, well, okay. When I got within about, I probably couldn't have been more than 10 feet away. I mean, I'm almost eyeball to eyeball this thing, and it's just looking at me.
Yeah.
There's no emotion, no nothing. He's just looking. And when I got within about 10 feet of me, he took 2 steps. Now, these are,
That highway.
that's 2 lanes of highway. Within 2 to 3 steps at the most, he was over the hill, over the mountain, side of the mountain. Now, here's the other thing I thought about. Where they had built this road, they had to blow the mountain out. All these limestone rocks are just jagged, huge, jagged rocks.
Right.
And he was over that mountain. You know, like I said, he didn't have anything. He was completely naked, no shoes, no nothing. How he went over that mountain, over them boulders,
Yeah.
without, you know, killing himself. I mean, a man couldn't do that.
Right.
That's the only reason I think, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know. But I can't see a man being able to do that. I don't care how tough his feet is. When he hits those rocks, you would think he would cut himself or something else. But
yeah, that's a pretty neat sighting, because most of the sightings you hear about are the big, brown, bulky, you know, creatures. But yours is quite different. And to me, it seems like that maybe it was just an older one of these creatures that was, maybe it was on its last leg for the, you know.
Well, you know, I never thought of that. I wouldn't even tell anybody about it for years.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because, you know, I said it had to be an old man of some kind. But
Yeah.
I thought about it all those years out there on the road. I thought about it. And I just don't believe it was a man.
Well,
I don't know why, but I don't believe it was a man, because of the muscular build to it was what it had to be.
And it was late at night, and I mean, why would it be jumping over a
Yeah,
rock?
there was nothing
there was
in this.
nothing there for him.
Right, nothing in this stretch of highway. There's no houses or nothing. There's a house about halfway up the mountain.
Right.
Another quarter or a half a mile from where he was at. But that's the only thing on that mountain right there. And there's no reason for him to be there. Yeah, that's the other strange thing about it. There's just nothing there.
Well, that was great. We definitely appreciate it. And stay tuned for our 3rd installation of Bigfoot BS with Bill and Sam, coming soon.